gonna go back inside. Because of that, it's alive. Oh, hello. I'm gonna grab her and go back inside. Okay, well, that's definitely a first. Yeah. Alright, so the boys are off to school. They just pulled out the driveway. Mr. Raccoon is still lying there, still alive. It's kind of shocking to see him because we don't see raccoons around here. We see squirrels. Squirrels, like that's it. Squirrels and birds. We don't even see rabbits. So seeing a raccoon was kind of shocking, especially in the morning, because usually in the morning they're sleeping, right? Because they are up at night. They're nocturnal. It's still moving, but I don't know. I'm guessing it's sick, you know. So I won't be letting Lois out, obviously. Maybe he just needs a cup of coffee, you know, because I know I get like that when I need coffee. So, and speaking of coffee, let's go grab a cup. Alright, it's time for that cup of coffee. So if you're having a cup of coffee or tea, enjoy. Cheers. Here's to a wonderful day, although ours is off to a weird start, but it's just not what I expected to see while I was outside with Lois, and I'm glad I'm always outside with her, keeping an eye on things. And when I looked over, I was like, what? You know, like I said, we don't see trash pandas here, and my heart feels broken because like it aches for him or her, because it's sad to see them in that state when it's like, yeah, you're not really well. Like it's kind of moving, but not really. So maybe making a phone call to my dad. What do I do? Yeah. So. And like you don't want to get too close, obviously, because you don't know if it has rabies or not. I still remember the episode of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, when their dog got rabies, and they didn't know it at first. Well, they kind of had a feeling, okay, you know, it looks like it could be rabies, and these are the signs to look for. If we see the dog showing no signs, we're going to have to put a bullet in his head. You know. And when Matthew's girlfriend, because like they kind of, when you have rabies, you kind of you act like you don't have it, like it's gone, right? But you still have it. It's just part of the awful disease. And you know, luckily technology, and you know, we have a shot for that. But back then they didn't, and back then this was all new to them. And of course, I know the dog was acting normal, and she's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with him. And meanwhile, if you're like me, you're shouting at that TV, you're telling her, don't be stupid, don't do that, don't go near the dog, because the dog will snap, bite you, and then, oh, look at that, a few days later you're dead. Like, and that's what happened. The dog bit her, you know. And I was like, oh, you know, like, why would you do that? Like, you were told that, you know, it could have this, and if it does, it's really dangerous, and it passes on if they bite you, you know. And it's yeah, and then she ends up dying. And yeah, it was sad. It's those episodes that stick with you and you remember. Yeah. So yeah, I feel bad for the raccoon. Oh, so yeah, we'll see as the day goes on. I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna pass away. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's just really weird. And like Lois wanted to go outside at like 7 o'clock when it was still pitch black, and I'm like, no, I'm not going out there, because number one, I won't be able to see you. I'll lose track of you. You know, we're gonna wait until the sun comes up, and well, it's a cloudy, so it's hiding behind a cloud today. But we're gonna wait, you know, till like it's not so dark. She's itching to get outside, because I know once snow comes and it starts to really get cold, that bitter cold, that bitter wind, Yeah, she's not going to want to step paw outside for the next few months till spring comes. So yeah. So it's like letting her enjoy every little bit that she can, just not right in the morning when it's pitch black. Yeah. You gotta draw a line somewhere. Yeah. Oh, and last night hearing Angela Lansbury passed away, aka Mrs. Potts. I used to watch her on Murder, She Wrote. We always used to watch Murder, She Wrote. It's probably where my love of like murder mysteries started. That was sad. I think she was what, 92, I think. Yeah, she was so talented, you know, really talented. Oh, and I saw on TikTok, because it's always, you know, this is where I find stuff out on TikTok. She also was the voice of the grandmother on Anastasia, and I totally forgot about that movie. I haven't watched that movie since I was a kid. Yeah, and that's just like, the history behind that is so sad, you know, so it's probably why I haven't watched it since I was a kid, because I don't want to be reminded, because it is sad. So, you know, but she voiced the grandmother, and there was a clip, and it's like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, memory unlocked. 3, 2, 1, guess who's here? Yeah, she did Broadway, you know, she did TV, she did movies. Yeah, very talented. Oh, so sad. Lost another great one. First the Queen, and now Angela. Is that it? It's only October. Okay. Well, we all know what happened at the end of last year, right? We lost Buddy White, so just knock on wood. Keep your fingers crossed that nobody else goes by the time the year is up. Yeah. Oh, but that coffee sure is good. Yeah, and TikTok also informed me that Glenn Close, another wonderful actress, was in Hook. Yeah, Peter Pan, that Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman. I used to watch that over and over again as a kid. And you're probably wondering, no, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. But yeah, she was. I was kind of shocked. You know the scene? Okay, this is the one scene in this movie that scared me as a kid. And technically still does scare me, okay, if we're being honest. You know that scene with one of the pirates who gets put into a treasure trunk, and they put scorpions inside, okay? That was Glenn Close, dressed as a guy. All right, we have some movement. He's up on all fours, moving around. Maybe he was just taking a nap. I don't know. Hello, how you doing? You're cute from afar. And you're pretty chunky. You are a chunky trash panda. Gee, they're not pregnant by this time of year, are they? No, spring? Yeah, no. That's when they get pregnant?
In fall, you mean?
Well, they don't get pregnant in fall, do they? Spring, right? I don't know. I'll have to ask Google. I know, because he or she is very chunky. Hello. You can carry on, like, you know, move along. You know, you just, you know, at a pit stop. Yeah. On a travel. Alright, so I asked Google when raccoons give birth. It's in between February and July. So, okay, we know not pregnant because she is a little bit on the chunky side. Or he, you know, I don't know. But, you know, when you see one that big, that's your first thought. Are they pregnant? Is she knocked up? No, she's not. Or it. I don't know. I'm not checking to see if it's a boy or girl. And then I asked, why would we see one in the daylight? Because they're sourcing for food, or they got spooked from their den, their home. So, but this is the most movement we've seen, which is good, because I honestly thought it was I honestly thought it picked a spot to die. You know, like, okay, this pile of leaves on this ground, like this right by this shed, this is perfect spot for me to die. Like, that's what I honestly thought, that it picked a spot just to pass away. But no, we're looking pretty good. Trash Panda is looking pretty good. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Squirrel realized that there was a raccoon. I went the other way. Maybe he's looking, the squirrels were in there digging, so they might have something stashed in there. Maybe that's what he's looking for. I grew a raccoon. Look at that fluffy tail. Don't
tell me Steve, sir.
No. You are cute, but like from a distance. Okay, well, I'm glad you're okay. Just move on. Go back home or find a new home. But you were definitely a surprise. Okay, well, he was in the flower box because I think the squirrels had their nuts in there, but I think he just had a seizure. I won't show you guys. He's half out of the box. Yeah, I think he's having a seizure. I don't know, that's so sad. That's heartbreaking. It's starting to rain. Oh, I was really hoping that he was on his way, that okay, he just needed a little raccoon nap. Or is he stuck? Or okay, this is too hard to watch. I can't watch. Oh boy. Is he trying to go behind the shed? Yeah. Yeah, then he's definitely dying. What's this? This day just turned into a depressing day. I was like, okay, this is hopeful. He's getting up, he's walking, this is good. And then he was like half out of the flower box. Like he just like passed out, like he was drunk or something. And then he got out and then he started to walk, but he was wobbling and he passed out. Or plopped over. Anyways, oh boy. Yeah, poor thing. Oh, well, I bet you God is waiting for him. Yeah, so yeah, going back to Hook and Glenn Close. Yeah, that was Glenn Close. And yeah, it did not look like her, you know, with the makeup and, you know, the hair. It was like, it looked like a guy, like an extra, you know. Yeah, so I haven't watched that since I was a kid, but when we watch that, yeah, I'll remember that, oh, that's Glenn Close, who got sentenced to death. That part always freaked me out. I'm like, that's not a nice way to go. Death by scorpions, you know. That part was like, yep, fast forward. Oh. Okay, guys. Oh my gosh. Well, so far today's been an eventful day. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, but it's been an eventful day. A sad day. It's not easy watching an animal suffer like that and die. Like, yeah, I just can't. I know, circle of life, you know what happens, but yeah, no, that was hard. The hubby's still out there. Keep an eye on it. No, it's heartbreaking. Lois still wants to go outside. She doesn't know that the panda, well, trash panda, that the raccoon is up there. So, but yeah. Oh boy. Is it Friday yet? Is it 5 o'clock somewhere? I need to add Bailey's to my coffee. I have to get some Bailey's, but I'm going to wait till Christmas comes. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so I'm not sure what I'm doing today. Yeah. I have no idea. We'll figure it out. We're going to have coffee first, have another cup, maybe make an egg sandwich for Breckie, and try to cheer ourselves up, because that was kind of upsetting. Anyways, I will check back in, and yeah, that's life, I guess, right? Circle of life. So right now he is going behind the shed. Beautiful raccoon. He does have a beautiful color to his tail. He's moving very slowly, so I'm thinking that's where he's going to go, just to pass away peacefully. Although I don't know, because he keeps surprising us. Like when he was in the flower box, he must have had a seizure. And then it's like, okay, that's it. You know, he's dead. He saw the light, and that's it. But then he got up. He got himself up and started to walk, even though he was a little bit wobbly. And now he's going behind the shed. And it's like, do we need to name you Lazarus? Because we thought you were dead and now you're alive. Yes, we might have to name him Lazarus. So he's kind of behind the shed. I can see his butt sticking out and his tail. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I think that's what's going to end up happening. Like, he will pass away, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't. Update number 2 on Lazarus. Okay, I'm not getting anything done today until this guy is taken care of, because I am worried. And you know what's the frustrating part? Calling these wildlife places. He just had, we thought, okay, first of all, we thought he was dead, because he was behind the shed and he wasn't moving. And then I saw his head move, and not his head, his tail, and then his head peeked up. And then he turned around and he had a major seizure, which was very hard to watch. His jaw was like open. It was hard to watch. But he is up, he is moving, he's alert. But he keeps having seizures, and that was, I think, worse than his last one. So, and you know, right now he's sitting down. So something obviously is not right, because number 1, he's out in daylight, and number 2, he is not very active. So you know what really what's really frustrating when calling these wildlife places is that they don't open till 10, and there's no, you know, emergency number like after hours, and you have to pretty much wait until they open. And then when you do call, it goes straight to voicemail. I don't want to leave a message. I want to talk to a person. I want this guy taken care of ASAP. He needs help. And then we call, I guess Amherstburg has one. And we called, and then they told us to call Humane Society. We called Humane Society because honestly, I didn't think Humane Society would take care of this kind of situation, because it is wildlife. It's wildlife. It's not your cat. You know, it's not. It's starting to spit. It's not your cat or your dog. You know, it's not a house pet. It's wildlife. And honestly, I wasn't sure if they would take a raccoon, would help a raccoon. But yeah, the hubby called, got through right away. She took our address and phone number, and just asked, like, okay, well, where's the raccoon located, so that they can tell the driver, and somebody is coming right now. So it was like that. So I'm like, okay, that's a little bit of relief that help is on the way, because I'm worried about him, you know. And when he had that seizure, I was like, oh my gosh, Lazarus, like, but he's still kicking, you know, he's still around. But yeah, something is seriously wrong. He's sick, and that was obvious when I first saw him, because when I first saw him this morning, I thought he was dead. because he was not really moving. So yeah, it's just it's nerve-wracking, and they can't really do anything else. Like, I want this taken care of. I want to make sure that he's okay and that they will help him. I think they will. I hope. You never know. It's like, yeah, please do your best to make sure he survives and gets released back into the wild and lives a very happy life. But yeah, not the day I planned or expected to happen, but here we are. But when he had that last seizure, it was like, yeah, I thought that's it. But no, he's still breathing, still alert. But yeah, it was just hard to watch. It really was. There he is. He's still breathing. I'm staying safe distance. But yeah, poor little guy. Hang on, okay? Hang on, just for a little bit. Don't go towards the light. Okay, don't do it. Okay, update number 3. He moved from there to all the way over here. He was actually by the recycle boxes, but he is a little bit wobbly on his feet. They are on their way about, I would say, 20 minutes out now. So they'll be here soon. We're just trying to make sure he doesn't go anywhere and try to contain him. So when they get here, they can help him. Poor guy. And we can add raccoon babysitting to our resume. Alright, we are taking a break, lying down. He seems to do that a lot. And then we'll get some energy, walk around, and then poop himself out and take a rest. But poor guy. Oh, I see a van coming. This might be them. He just had his fourth seizure, and it was hard to watch. Let's just say that.
All right.
Yep, here they are. Oh man. Alright, Lazarus is on his way to get help, aka the raccoon. He just had his 4th seizure right before the guy came. And yeah, this one was pretty bad, but I don't think it was as bad as his 3rd one. This one he did make growling noises as he was seizing. But yeah, his 3rd one, it was just like, you know, his jaw looked like it locked, and it's so hard to watch that, you know, because even though like people have seizures every day and you know it's normal, but you know it's just, yeah, it's hard, and animals have them too, but it's just hard seeing them go through it. So yeah, so today's vlog is a raccoon content. I hope you don't mind, because that's what happened today. That's what went on today. In my life, first time seeing a raccoon since we have lived here, and we lived here for 10 years. So first time seeing a raccoon. Now, if we were back at home where I grew up in the country, we see raccoons along with squirrels, possums even, and deer. Okay, so not out of the ordinary when you're in the country to see those kind of wildlife, but here we're more in the city. Usually all we see is birds and squirrels. That's it. No raccoons, not even a rabbit, you know. So it was a little weird seeing him. I'm not sure where he came from, but I am glad he found our home to kind of pass out on, because we were able to get him help. We were home. We were able to get him help. And kudos to the Humane Society because they came right away, prompto. The guy was close by. He came right away because we were the first ones that called. I guess somebody else called after us, and he's on his way to his next call, but I think he's dropping off the raccoon to Erie Wildlife, who we did call before, but we left a message, but they haven't called back. That's what I mean. These places, like, kind of ticks me off because it's like, yeah, okay, you open at 10, but shouldn't you have an emergency number, for after hours, if you're not open? Because wildlife just doesn't wait until you're open to have a problem. Because that would help to have an emergency number where we could call, because this is why I don't like leaving messages, because you're waiting for that person to call back, and they haven't called back so far yet. So, and that was an hour ago. So, I don't know, maybe they don't have enough people working for them, or if they're volunteer based, maybe they don't have enough people volunteering. But yeah, it's just, very, very, very frustrating, because you want to get him help ASAP as soon as possible. And I love all animals, almost all animals, almost. The majority of animals, insects, reptiles, no, not so much. But most animals, I absolutely love. And this guy was adorable, and I named him Lazarus because we thought he was dead and he came back alive, and I told the guy that and he laughed. So I was like, yeah, because we thought he was a goner. We did. When he had his second seizure and he was like in the plant box, and he was half in the plant box and half out. He was hanging from it, and it looked like he was drunk, had one too few many, and honestly thought, okay, that's it. He kicked the bucket. That's it. He's dead. He saw a light. Okay. God has your number, and he was alive. It's like, okay, Lazarus is your name. Yeah, so I hope all the best for Lazarus. I hope they figure out what's wrong. It's not rabies, because the guy said there hasn't been a case of rabies in this area for 20 years, so that's good to know. But, it's always good to be safe because you never know. And, they'll probably help him and figure out what's wrong and release him back into the wild, and he can live the rest of his life healthy and seizure-free. Yeah, I hope so. I'm always curious. Like, I want to know, like, so, but I'm just glad that that's done, and, I can relax now, because I was worried about the little guy. I really was, and it was heartbreaking to watch him go through that, and, it's just, it's hard. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully that's the last of the raccoons. Yeah, hopefully I don't see any more. Oh, I know. No more. I can't take any more. Yeah. But I'm glad he did choose our house, and, we were home, because if he chose a house, to, like our neighbor or something, and they're not home, he could, absolutely, he could have eventually died, but he didn't. So we got him help, and he's going to get his help. So I hope you enjoyed this raccoon content. Honestly, like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to do anything today. I've had enough excitement. I'm going to clean up the living room because it does need your general tidying. Do that. I have to warm up my coffee, my second cup. Because we were outside keeping an eye on the raccoon, just trying to contain it. And when he called back, because he was like, oh, he's getting up, walking around, and he called back, he may decide to, like, make sure they do know that it's alive, right? And she's like, oh, yes, they know him. But if you can contain it, you can put something on top of it, like, a garbage can or recycle bin. And it's like, no thanks. It's like, no, I'll just keep an eye on it. And he wasn't really going far. Like, he would walk around and then he'd get tired and then lie down and have a nap. And there was one point he was lying down and his eyes were closed, and it's like, are you still with us? You know, because it was very hard to see. You really had to look to see if he was breathing. It was really hard to see. But nope, he was breathing, just very shallow, very subtle. So it's like, okay, good. And that was like right before the guy came, and then he had a seizure, and then that's like, yeah. And the raccoon was probably cussing him out in his own language. He was probably, you know, yeah, cussing him, and but even the guy said, yeah, he was a stinker. He did not want to go in. Yeah. I know, but that's how you expect them to act, right? Because even though you're helping them, they don't know that you're helping them, you know, and yeah. Anyways, happy ending. I'm glad. Honestly, I thought this was gonna be a sad ending. I was upset, like really upset earlier, because it's like, oh my gosh, he's dead, you know, and he's going behind the shed, he's gonna die. Yep, okay, there goes my day, ruined, you know. But then I saw him moving, it's like, oh, okay, there's still hope, okay, you know. And yeah, okay, it's all good, and I'm sure he'll live a good, healthy life. Yeah. Oh, just lay off the Twinkie, so because he was so chunky. He was a big boy. He really was, Lazarus. Yeah, Lazarus. Yeah. All right, so the hubby went to pick up the boys, and I just looked at the window. Like, seriously? Honestly. It's a beautiful day. But I looked out the window, and by our garbage is a pink stroller. Yeah. No clue. Life's mysteries. I don't know. Like, whoever dropped it off, it's like, you don't have garbage, you know, like somewhere to put that. Okay, gee, thanks. And our garbage just went out yesterday, so it's gonna be sitting at the curb for a week. Yeah. Anyways, I miss Lazarus. I do. I miss his chunky little butt. He definitely was a cutie, and I felt like a little bit of Elmira from Animaniacs. You know that character? Yeah, you just want to go and hug them and like squeeze them and love them. Yeah, I think we're all a little bit like that, right? We just love animals, and yeah. Well, I am glad that we could help him, and that he made this that he came right away. And that other place that we called, before we called, he made the site, and we had to leave a message. They called 30 minutes after I last talked to you guys, so it took them an hour and a half altogether to call us back. So I don't think they have enough people volunteering / working for them, because that is a long time. If an animal is in need, an animal needs help, time is of the essence, and that is a long time for the animal to wait. So yeah, I think he was either going to that place or going to another place that's also near us that helps that kind of wildlife. So yeah, I'm just happy that we were able to take care of him and help him, and you know, that we were home, that he picked our house, because I don't think our neighbors are home. I don't know, I think 1 or 2 is, but I don't think they would have noticed. Like, I was outside. The only reason I noticed was I was outside with Lois when we usually get the boys ready for school and they're about to leave, so that's why I noticed, you know. So the leaves are really falling. They're starting to fall. This tree has really changed in color. Wow. Within a week, I would say, it turned yellow. Pretty. So this, excuse me, I had an oatmeal bar, which are almost gone. Oh, that's what I'm choking on. I'm just gonna say goodnight on the vlog because it's long enough. You know, raccoon content took up most of my vlog, which is okay because that's what was going on. Yes, in my part of the woods. Yeah. So the boys will be home soon, and I'll turn on a light here. But yeah, I'm just gonna say goodnight. Thanks so much for watching. I really, truly, duly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next fun video. Hopefully tomorrow morning there's no wildlife that needs help. Yeah, knock on wood, cross your fingers and toes. Yes. Alright guys, I'll see you next one video. Take care, be blessed, and ta-ta for now. Bye!